Assalamu alaikum, this is Sarisawa. Every Thursday at 12 p.m., join me right here on Radio Dawn for The Inner Journey, a space where faith meets healing and science meets the soul. As a hypnotherapist and a life coach, I'll take you through powerful conversations, reflections, and tools to help you overcome challenges, find balance, and reconnect with your true self. So tune in every Thursday at 12 p.m. for the Inner Journey. With me, Sarisawa, only on Radio Dawn. Your community, your voice, your connections. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters, and welcome back to Radio Dawn 107.6 FM. You tuned into the radio show, The Inner Journey, with me, your host, Sarish Sawa. For the new listeners, I am a hypnotherapist and life coach. We go through this journey every week on Thursday at 12 p.m., where we find different ways to understand our mental health and well-being. As you guys know, that this is something that we have started, alhamdulillah, in the last quarter of the last year, where we want to bring those challenging, difficult conversation between us and around us about mental health and well-being, so we can normalize these topics and these discussions, so we can openly speak about it, especially if someone's experiencing some of them in their personal life. And every week, I try to find different ways. As you guys know, that I talk about different therapies, I talk about different issues, and we discuss about it. And we always have our radio, the numbers and the emails on, available for you. If you have any feedback or if you are struggling something personally yourself, you're more than welcome to send us the details, and we can try to discuss them on the radio show, or even as anonymously, doing it as anonymous. So as you guys know, that I do try to bring guests, alhamdulillah, because I believe that the exchanging of knowledge from different expertise makes a huge difference. And therefore, I have got a guest today. She is absolutely amazing, and I am honored to be having her on my radio show. She is the CEO of Veda Women Club. I would like to welcome her on my show. Her name is Hasina Reshamwalla. Welcome, Hasina.
Thank you, Sarish, and assalamu alaikum to everyone and to you. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Oh, very welcome. Thank you for actually, showing up on such a short notice. But thank you. And tell me about what is it that you do? Because first time when I spoke to you, the kind of things that you told me about being so passionate about women and empowerment. So tell me a bit more about your story. Where did the Veda's Women Club started from?
Thank you. So Veda Women's Club actually started with my journey when I had my daughter. I had a child out of wedlock, and I was shunned from my community, but my grandmother was such a forward-thinking woman that she supported me through this journey, and her friends had gathered together and really helped me with raising my daughter. And I wanted that kind of a sisterhood for women. So throughout my life and my daughter's life, I always made sure that we had strong women that championed us and championed each other. And when I moved here to the UK about a year and a half ago, I had realized that that was something that was lacking. And I really wanted to bring that to the forefront and have women experience what I got to experience. So I wasn't alone in my journey. I wasn't, and I didn't want other women to feel alone in their journey, whatever it was, whether it's, someone going through a divorce or not being educated. I've seen so many women who struggle with even financial literacy because they've been in marriages and then they get divorced or their partner passes. So we created Veda to be a holistic experience for women, a community where it's safe to come speak as a woman, to support each other, and to really build on that sisterhood that, we really try to emphasize in our own walks of lives and with our children, right? And it was really important for me that my daughter got to experience that and see that growing up. And I think that we're moving into a generation of being more aware, being able to talk about, mental health, talking about taboos and topics that were not allowed to be spoken about 20 years ago. And so Veda gives that platform.
Oh, absolutely. I love the sound of that because I think we can definitely relate when it comes to our culture and society, being especially South Asian. I think mental health or even like women empowerment, I mean,
Yes.
it's getting better, alhamdulillah, which I'm so glad about. But again, we know that we have been programmed from the childhood to say women shouldn't be saying out, what they feel, their opinions should not be heard, or
Mhm.
they're not as important. And I think platforms like what you have, it really encourages, because how you mentioned about the financial literacy, because I have seen in my therapy room that some of the wives, they've gone through the divorce, or they've become widow, and they just completely blind to like what they're supposed to do. And platforms like yours, I believe it's something that is kind of teaching them how to, and the independence, what would you say?
Yes, absolutely. It's teaching them independence. Now we're not, a Me Too movement hating on men. We're just
Mhm.
saying, hey, women, come to the table. Let's empower you. Let's get all of us on that same level playing field, whether that's, understanding your physical health, whether it's being supported, through mental health or financial literacy. We want to be able to encompass all of that and give that independence, but that empowerment as well to women. Even if you aren't divorced, even if you, are married, you have kids, how great is it that you can actually be empowered in your own home, right?
Yes, absolutely. I love it because again, I think it really comes down to when you have a great foundation at home, and I have seen the husbands or the male at home, they are quite supportive on it. The
Yes.
reason they are there to kind of protect, because they feel that you're quite vulnerable. The ladies tend to be, women have this vulnerability for them, but if the people around can see that you're capable of, and you've got this capability of doing things, and I think that's the most amazing thing, because I personally believe, and again, I have seen my mother doing it, I do it, that women actually is a glue of the house. They hold they have to have the emotional availability and stability to run the house, because she's dealing with the kids, she's dealing with husband or in-laws or in the family around. So I
Mhm.
think it is really important for women to be, mentally or emotionally feeling empowered, because she will be reflecting that back on the kids, which is new generation, and even the partner as well.
Absolutely. And, we say at Veda Women's Club that women wear so many hats. We are the mothers, we're the daughters, we're, every hat. And if we empower a woman, we're not only empowering them, we're empowering their children, their husbands, their families for generations to come. Right. And I think that is the most beautiful thing, is knowing that one person that we impact has ripple effects for generations.
Absolutely. And I think our generation definitely needs that, because again, it's what you've said, that it's not about hating men, it's about really truly stabilizing the energies, because the men can only be in their masculine energy when woman is in her feminine energy.
Yes.
And it
And
really comes down to, like, when you're empowering her to say that it's okay to be expressive emotionally. And, if you're creative, like, we always see that, and I think it really comes down to culturally, from programming of, like, you have to be doing the hard work. You got to make sure that, I don't think women get enough chance to be creative and be, expressing her emotions. Sometimes could be art or doing anything. And I think this is where, the group of great mindset people can come together. Tell me a bit more about when you said that great mindset people, especially ladies coming together.
yeah, so we have an event on Sunday, and that event is really about that holistic approach for a woman. So they do get to express that creative side, right? And be vulnerable. They can have the financial literacy support and learn tools, but then they also get to experience filling their own cup. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important. And when we fill a woman's cup with emotional, physical, mental, and financial supports, that gives them enough energy and support within themselves to express those creative sides, right? To say, okay, you know what? I feel empowered to be able to take that course. I feel empowered to, get into dance. And you see that woman emerge, right? When you start helping them fill their cups.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And this is something that I use a lot. That you can only give other people from if you got something for yourself. You cannot give people that you don't have it yourself. So you have to fill up your cup so you can share it with someone else. And for ladies, especially, and I think even because I work with the both, but I think as a human, when you are pursuing your passion, and it could be just create, it could be like art, or it could be anything that you're passionate about, and I think you just internally so happy.
Yes, it is so true. It's igniting a flame, right?
Mm.
It's igniting the flame within. And I often say, and you'll hear this often at our events, that, the night sky isn't filled with just one star, and every woman is a star that lights up that sky.
Yes, yeah, and absolutely, and I think that's the best way because everyone has a gifts, and if you recognize your gift and you're able to use that to your benefit, I always see that some people are really good. Some of the ladies will be really good with calculation. Some would be really good creativeness. Tell me about because I know I'm part of the Sunday event that's happening.
Yes.
Thank you.
We are so excited to have you, honestly. Just to know that women have various supports and to have someone like yourself who's so passionate about what you do and your hypnotherapy um, gives women opportunities that they may not have even realized, right? We don't know completely what's out there until we have events like this that say, hey, guess what? There are different ways to support yourself other than the traditional, going to a therapist.
Absolutely. And I think this is what I feel Veda's Women Club is very goal oriented as well, because some people will just have platforms like, let's get together, let's do something. But because obviously I'm going to be part of the Sunday event, and the Sunday one is wealth and wellness. So it's about, in the business. And I know that I'm going to be having a presentation there. And yeah, I felt straight way that it's very, and I love to be in a surrounding and with a mindset which sets the goals and you're working towards it, because that's what our brain loves, that it likes the clarity and where we are headed. And I think I like the approach that you have, that we want to build that platform where you're ticking the boxes. And I believe the wellness and wealth is this Sunday, but you've got a couple of other coming as well, I believe.
Yes. So, Wealth and Wellness is this Sunday in Nottingham, and that is going to be a sensational event. We have yourself, we have incredible vendors, we have some prizes as well to give away. So, we're
Nice.
super excited. We're not giving away what is going to be given to the ladies, but we also have an event in February on the 15th of February, and that's at the Harrow Inn, and that's a Galentine's Day social. So you'll learn how to do some marinade making, some cocktail or mocktail making, but then it's also a social chance for women to communicate with each other. We have open mic sessions, which we've spoken briefly offline about what we do with our open mic, and that is a platform for any woman that comes into our events to have 60 seconds on the mic to speak about who they are, what they do, or what kind of supports that they need. And this is very unique to Veda. It's something that empowers every woman. So it gives you a voice. And so, yeah, we have that again on the 15th of February at the Harrow Inn. And then on the 22nd of March, we are doing a Women's Market Expo, and that's going to be in Leicester. And that's showcasing women-owned and operated businesses throughout the Midlands. giving women a platform, and this will be open to the community. So men, women, children, you name it, everyone can come. But we really want to showcase the power of a woman, the beauty of a woman. And so that's why we're doing the Women's Day Expo.
Oh, I love the sound of each of them. And again, it comes down to, there is a goal. There is, you've got a structure like, okay, we have done the wealth. Are we going to do something now next? Let's tick that off. And I love the sound of it, the 60-second on stage for anyone that's there. Because I know when I was talking to one of my friends and she was like, I'm signing up for it. She paid for the tickets. And it's because, again, she is starting up her business. And the more you can bring exposure
Yeah.
to people for your business, the best it is. And 60 seconds all you need. And
Yeah.
again, I love the sound when you said about any kind of support that you need, because I know you said that it could be support if you've got business, anything that you feel. And I remember on the interview you did say that someone spoke about the exams or something that they had to do.
Yes.
Tell me a bit more about that.
So our very first session that we ever did the open mic, there was a young university student who was in kinesiology, and she needed a certain amount of clients to be able to pass her exam. And so she came up and she said, I'm offering this service for free in turn for getting my hours. And she was able to fill her entire roster at our event. And that just made us so happy. And then we had recently a girl come in and speak about how she was suffering from addiction, and Veda was the one place where she didn't feel she needed to use, she didn't feel she needed to hide, and her anxiety actually got better being at a supportive, safe space. So things like that, stories like that really warm my heart and make me feel like, okay, we're doing the right thing.
Absolutely. And it definitely makes you proud, because especially when you're able to make a difference in someone's life, because that's what we are always spoken about here on my radio show as well, that people are struggling with so much. Because we are able to put that mask on outside, it doesn't mean that everyone is okay. There are some people who are struggling silently. And if you can give them that space where they can be their real self and just be open about it, and I think that's the best gift that you can give it to someone else. And I'm again, like I said, that when I heard about this, I was like, okay, I definitely want to be part of it. Um, Tell me a bit more about, because I know you're a life coach as well.
I am,
Tell
yes.
me a bit more about you.
Oh my goodness. So I actually was a family and employment law mediator many, many moons ago. And when I became ill, about 15 years ago, I became quite ill and I was told that I was going to be terminal. I had to change my own mindset because I was going against what doctors were telling me, what everyone was preparing for, and I wasn't ready. And I had a daughter. I'm a single mom. I've been raising my daughter on my own, and there was no way I was going to give up. And that's when I realized that mindset is so important. It's critical. It can truly change your life. And as a life coach, I'm sure yourself, you know that what we feed ourselves in our thoughts is far greater than anything that we can receive outside, right? As far as treatment, if we don't believe in ourselves, we'll never heal. And that's where my life coaching journey started. I knew that I could heal myself. I found my cancer on my own. And my whole journey has been very spiritual and very led by listening within and silencing that. I wanted to impart that on other people and be able to support them in their journey. And as a mental health first aider, it's really important in all aspects of my work.
Absolutely. Oh, that was the music to my ear. Whatever the word is, it's that it absolutely, I couldn't agree more. This is, and again, my show is called The Inner Journey. And this is the reason, because it really truly comes down to when you can change your internal state, you can change things around. And it's so inspiring to hear that, and I was recently talking to someone about it, that it's so hard, especially when people are told something like, they are ill or some. Because I always like to share the story of Joe Dispenza, if you've heard about him,
Yes,
that
love
how
Joe
he was.
Dispenza.
Absolutely, and how he was told that he won't be able to walk until unless he takes that life-threatening surgery, and he chose not to, and now he's a walking miracle. And again, that's the reason that I got into it. That how your brain actually has a power to to heal you within, but it's only comes down to belief and the mindset. And
Absolutely.
I love it that how you've said that you had to change your mindset, and there was a lot spiritually. So tell me some wise words that you can give. Like there might be some listeners who are on the urge of where probably physically they are not okay. They're going through something, and they just waiting for that just one word to hear to make them feel that what, just because the doctor said it, it doesn't mean it's true. I make my destiny, because we're talking about spirituality. But and I always say as well that unless the God has come itself and told me that this is going to happen, otherwise I will not believe. And I think this is where it comes down to like having that strong belief. But I would like to ask you, what made you go through this, and you've come so far, and you're amazing, and I'm
Thank
grateful to God for that.
Thank you. So, one piece of advice that I could give to everyone is nobody knows you more than you know yourself.
Mm.
Trust yourself, right? It's hard to silence the noise, but if it takes, affirmations, if it takes journaling, if it takes someone like yourself that they engage with, that helps them with, positivity, get a life coach. But do what you need to really focus inward on that inward journey, because you are your strongest medicine,
Yes. Yes,
right?
absolutely. I
I
would say that. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say that, like, I was paralyzed as well. So in 2014, the whole left side of my body was paralyzed, and I spent 8 weeks in hospital learning how to walk again. And the doctors had said to me, the only way you're coming out is palliative care or a body bag. And I have this on my podcast as well. And I said to him, get out of my room. I was probably a little bit more harsh than just saying, get out of my room. But I refused to listen to him. And I had my daughter bring my heels to the hospital, and I would wear these heels while I was in a wheelchair. And they said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm not walking, so it's not damage to me. But I have this mindset that I'm going to come walking in these heels. And I remember about 6 weeks in, my physiotherapist said, if there's anyone that's going to come back here walking, it's going to be you. And sure enough, 2 years later, I walked in those heels into that ward at the hospital, the neurological ward at the hospital, with those heels, and said, look at me.
Oh wow. Oh, that's just gave me goosebumps. And oh my God, this is thank you. I mean, I think we needed to hear that, because I do say, when I'm on my radio show, I do say all these things, but I love the sound of that. There is someone else who's gone through it, and for you to just not just being the terminal and coming out of it, and even being like, you said the half paralyzed. Would you say it was the visualization? Would you say that it was a strong belief, the affirmations? What got you through? Because what I have felt, that when you're physically drained out, mentally you are unable to think clearly when you're in it. I mean, from outside it's different. What would you say really got you to have the firm belief that, what, it's going to happen?
Two things. My faith in God, my faith in the universe, and my fundamental desire and belief that I needed to be there for my daughter. I refused to believe that my daughter was going to be orphaned or be cared for by anyone else, and that gave me a lot of my drive and strength.
Oh, that's so beautiful to hear. Got me a bit emotional as well, because I've got a daughter, and I can I can understand that it really comes down to the burning desire that they say, even in business as well, that it really comes down to how you're not going to give up, because
No,
when you have that burning desire, you will just find a ways. Even that little light in the end of the tunnel, you will see that as, I'm able to do that.
yeah.
And I think this is where, thank you, that's beautiful to share, by the way. Thank you
Thank
for sharing that with me, and all of us listeners, because this radio is all about the spirituality and your connection with God. And I always emphasize on that we as a human has been built so greatly. We have the superpowers that we are not even aware of. And I think this is where people like yourself that shows the actual example that this is how powerful we are. And amazing to have someone like you to now go around saying, expressing that for other people and having that platform to say that, what, you can create your own destiny and reality.
absolutely.
Yes, it is the God, but we always say as well that nothing can be done without the permission of God. If we are sitting here even wishing, that is still the permission from the God, and
Yeah.
probably it's the insight or a hint that the God wants you to do that, because otherwise it won't come into your mind.
Absolutely.
And absolutely, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think this is where your desire comes into that, having that, just not just for everyone, but like for women as well, because being a mother, we carry a lot.
We
And
do.
if any of the mothers are listening, and you're my sisters, what is few things, a few words you'd like to say? Because we always say like being mother is like full-time job.
It is.
And it's one of those things like you will not get a break. But
Mhm.
what wise words would you say, that something that a mother needs to hear today that will make them feel appreciated?
Something that I would love to tell all mothers out there is you are enough. You are more than enough. And never doubt yourself. And believe that you deserve to have time for yourself. Believe that you are worthy of love, of care and self-care and self-love. But ultimately, please remember that you are enough. I don't think that we hear that enough as women.
Yes, absolutely. And because there's a lot of expectations from people around, from especially the woman, and hearing that you are enough, I think that's a brilliant message. And sometimes I feel that because I have worked with some of the mothers, they have this guilt, or it's a guilt. Like if you think about yourself, you're being selfish.
Mhm.
What would you say about that?
I think we're all guilty of it at the beginning. I remember when my daughter was younger, and if I took, an extra 5 minutes, having a bubble bath, I was like, oh my goodness, how dare I, not be there for my child 24/7, screaming or needing my care. But I didn't realize how much I was actually filling from this empty cup, and it started manifesting in physical symptoms. And I physically became ill to the point where I was hospitalized and I was taken away from her for 8 weeks to recover. Whereas if I had just taken that time for myself, things may have been different. And I may have not have had to take that 8 weeks apart, sitting in a hospital bed trying to recover, which was so much greater than maybe having, a routine in place and taking that time for self-love, which we often, feel guilty for doing. But self-love isn't selfish. And I think that's something so important. And I'm sure that you probably preach that as well, right? As a life coach, is that self-love is not selfish. It is, it's actually, I believe, we're almost being thieves ourselves if we give that energy to people without filling our own cups.
Yes, absolutely. And I agree with everything what you said about manifesting into, when you have this feeling that, a guilt or something that will manifest in your body. And this is why it's so important to clear those emotions. And it's okay to have that time for yourself, because I know I've seen, I mean, I'm a mother myself, that there are days that you don't get sleep. I always tell the first time mothers, like, say goodbye to your sleep. Have as much as you can right now, and then just say bye to it. Because even though when they've grown up, I mean, your daughter, how old is your daughter?
20.
Yes, so even now, I
Mashallah.
know that she's grown up, but even though you still subconsciously care that where is she okay? And I
Absolutely.
think once you become a parent, it's that, especially with the mother,
Yes.
subconsciously you cannot tune out of that. And
Yeah.
this is why it's so important because emotion regulation. And I've had some mothers come into me that they having issues with their children, very young children, and I
Mm.
had to ask them, how are you self-regulating? Because
Yeah.
if you are not emotionally regulating yourself, your child will pick up on that and it will become their behavior. And I remember that I coached a couple of them because we decided that between the child and yourself, they said that, shall we do it first? I was like, that's a great idea because you'll see the difference it makes. And I remember by the end of the therapy or the package that we had, she was like, I can already tell difference in my child, and I was like, yes, like yes, exactly, because children, especially when they're young, mother is such a important person for them that they will reflect every energy that mother's doing. So if mother is not looking after herself, she is sleep deprived, she is not able to self-regulate, the child will just reflect on that. But if the
Mhm.
mother is calm, even I have heard kids who have got ADHD,
Yes.
or autism, and it's quite challenging to work with them, but because the parent was able to stay calm, it had no choice but to reflect the children. And
Yes.
it's such a way, and then it's a typical example to see that how being a mother and looking after yourself is not selfish. You're not doing it for yourself. Indirectly, you are still doing it for people around you because that's how you can.
No, absolutely. And that's why Veda is so important, right? Because it is that place for women to come connect with themselves. Take off your hat, is what I say. Take off your hat. You are not a mother. You are not a sister. You are not anyone. When you walk into that room, you are you.
Yes.
And that's what you get to be.
Yes, and I'm sure that it ignites that spark that you mentioned, where they are able to go back to their other, put on their other hats, but they feel different. Is because as a human, we long for that getting recognized as who we are, not by how we relate to other people. And again, coming down to some of the events that you've just mentioned. I know we've got this Sunday one. Just mention me just other couple that you we are having again, and do tell us that if people want to sign up, some of my ladies, my sisters want to sign up, where they can reach out as well.
Absolutely. So we have the event on Sunday. We have, and that's in Nottingham. We have the event on February 15th. That is in Thurmaston. And that is a Galentine's Day social. And then we have the event on March 22nd, and that is the Women's Day Expo. And we have a few exciting ones coming into the books for May, June, and July, but those will be released in the near future. All of this information can be found on our website at www.vedawomen, so that's VEDA Women, WOMEN.com.
Perfect. And www.wedawomen.com, and any other social media we can follow up just to see the updates.
Absolutely. So you can follow us we are on Instagram at Veda Women's Club. We are on LinkedIn. We are on TikTok and Facebook. So
Brilliant.
we've
And
got all
it's
the socials.
Yeah, nice. And you will get to see me actually on there as well, because we got this Sunday event coming where we have done the collaboration. So, and I'm already excited because it comes down to the wealth and business and women. And I think I'm so looking forward to it because you've got different vendors. Just tell me about 3 4 different vendors so the listeners can actually get a bit of insight what kind of things to expect from the event.
Absolutely. So, first of all, there's yourself, Suresh. And so, women will get the opportunity to have a little bit of a teaser of what hypnotherapy is. And they'll get to experience going into that inner journey with you. And so that's super exciting, something that we haven't had before at Veda. So I'm so excited to have you there. Each woman will be able to participate in a financial literacy workshop where you'll get a wealth health check to understand where you are now. And then we have gifts for each woman that are coming, and that will be in collaboration with the wellness component. And then we have EFT. So tapping and learning how to regulate. We have some massage therapists, and we have a fitness coach who will be doing some wellness assessments, and then we'll have some affirmation tables and a bit of a social, and then we'll also have the open mic session as well.
Oh, brilliant. I am so excited about it. I know it's this Sunday between 11 and 4. Is it 12 and 4?
12 and 4, yes, at
Brilliant.
the Bar Esquina at the Alia Casino in Nottingham. It is an 18 and over event, so please bring your ID,
Yes.
especially because I think you'll get carded, Suresh, when they look at how young you look. But yes, no, it is an 18 and over event, and it'll be from 12 to 4. And I encourage women, definitely come out. We still do have our 2-for-1 special. We've decided to keep it on because I knew we were going to be on your show tonight. So just to give your listeners a little bit extra time to get their tickets, it is a 2-for-1 deal still going on for the rest of tonight.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. And I'm hoping that when they do listen to this show, even after, because we do play it about 2 to 3 times, when it gets repeated, I'm sure they will get to hear a bit more about the other 2 shows in the February and in the March, because that's something that sounds really, really interesting. And I will be talking about my show once again when we have the events coming a bit closer to the time. I'll definitely love to mention about that. Thank you so much for being here, Sina, and sharing your personal journey. Honestly, that means a lot. Thank you for being able to share us like where you started from, because sometimes people just go into it because they just think, okay, maybe I want to start with, but there are some people who's got this in a passion or something emotionally attached to it that if I could, so can others. So let's bring everyone around and show them how to transform, or basically have them explore themselves. So thank you for sharing that.
My pleasure. And thank you so much for having me on this show. I love what it is that you do and how you're transforming so many lives. Honestly, our participants on Sunday are in for such a treat. And I'm so excited to have you join us, and really excited to work with you, collaborate with you on future endeavors as well. So continue doing what you're doing. I think a lot of these women, our sisters here, mashallah, are so blessed to have someone like you that provides this kind of a space.
Oh, thank you so much. And again, to you as well. And I think it really comes down to the mindset, because when you have a mindset of really having the collaboration and uplifting people, there's no many people out there who does that. So when I've seen that, the energy that I got from you when I had the conversation the first time, and I could straight away tell that, the uplifting mindset, and it's really important to have these kind of people in your environment. Because how you mentioned about how you was able to transform by disbelieving that what's being said, by limiting beliefs, right? And you was able to have that belief to say, I am capable of healing. And because of that was so strong, your body had no choice but to give in and start healing. And that's what environment makes such a difference. And again, thank you for having that platform created where ladies, women can come and open up and learn a lot more.
My pleasure. Thank you for supporting us and for being part of our journey.
Thank you. And thank you so much once again for giving us time on here. Good luck with all the events, and good luck with all the goals and the plans that you have in the future. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, and this was an amazing, amazing Hasina Reshamwalla from Veda Women Club. As soon as I met her, and I didn't know at that time she was a life coach, but when we were having that conversation, discussions, I was quickly able to kind of find out that okay, why she's life coach, because when you have this mindset of life coaching, how it's different from counseling or any other therapy is that life coaching is a lot more like goal oriented. You focusing on what's the solution, where we headed, and a lot of people kind of stay in present and doesn't have much of a vision of future. I've always said it here that if someone's depressed, that means they're living in past, and if someone's got anxiety, they are living in future. It's best to be in the present and future. The past kind of, we have to regulate that. We all carry that traumas, that baggage, which again, I always said that there are therapists out there, and I have spoken about quite a few here, that you can help to understand yourself better and let go what's not longer serving you. And that's what we call that regulating your past, and then being in your present so you can take the right actions by having the vision in the future. And this is where the life coaching come in place. And I was able to kind of relate to Hasina's mindset quite quickly, and I'm more than happy to support the platform she has, because we really truly need to empower our ladies, because as mothers, as wives, we understand, and even sisters or daughters, we understand that for a woman to self-regulate is the best thing, because she becomes the glue of the family. And the more we are understanding this, the more we are emphasizing on it. So thank you so much, everyone, all my brothers and sisters, for listening this episode. We will be, inshallah, bringing some more here, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum, this is Sari Sawa. Every Thursday at 12 p.m, join me right here on Radio Dawn for The Inner Journey, a space where faith meets healing and science meets the soul. As a hypnotherapist and a life coach, I'll take you through powerful conversations, reflections, and tools to help you overcome challenges, find balance, and reconnect with your true self. So tune in every Thursday at 12 p.m. for The Inner Journey. With me, Sari Sawa, only on Radio Dawn. Your community, your voice, your connections.